What's good? What's good? Today is July 17th, and here's a breakdown on today's price action. So, starting off, overall, the market was super bullish. So, obviously, when we are trading near all time highs, I'm going to be favoring taking long. So, that was no different than today. Obviously, always playing both sides, but ideally, you always kind of want a long setup when you're near all time highs. So, going into New York session open here, we had some super nice draws on liquidity. We had these relative equal lows here on the 1 hour. We came down and swept those out. Exactly what I wanted to see. We also had a bullish 1 hour fair value gap. I believe this was a 4 hour bullish gap as well, but off New York session open right here, price comes down, we sweep out those relative equal lows. We're delivering out of this, turn off my magnet. So we're delivering out of this big bullish 1 hour fair value gap here. We see price comes down, we tap into the gap right here, sweep out those lows. And the next thing we want is really good momentum and speed back to the upside. So we make a move down. We do create a few bearish fair value gaps on various time frames. The 1 minute had a bearish gap right here. Reason why I did not take this first inverse here is because we also had a bearish 3 minute and a bearish 5 minute fair value gap above. So typically you always want to take the highest time frame inverse just to prevent yourself from getting stopped out. So if you did take this 1 minute right here, you would have gotten stopped out because the next candle closed below this fair value gap right here. So this trade would have been a loss. And yeah, so it's super important to just stay patient in these situations. Typically, always want to wait for the highest time frame gap to inverse. So jumping to the 5 minute, we will check this out. So we see we had this 5 minute bearish gap right here, which was right above the 1 minute bearish gap. And I wanted to see this be inversed with great momentum and great speed. We already got the liquidity sweep. We're delivering out of a 1 hour gap. We got super strong draws and liquidity to the upside. Markets overall super bullish. Couldn't have asked for anything better besides this candle closure. So obviously this candle closed with phenomenal momentum, phenomenal speed. I'm going to turn on my equal highs here. So these equal highs were my break even. They would have been my break even point. Ideally, I would have liked to see this candle close somewhere around this range right here. Unfortunately, this candle pushed too much to the upside, had already taken out my break-even point, which was an internal high, which internal draw on liquidity there. So for me, the trade was invalid. And, obviously I kind of knew that price was going to keep going higher and higher, but I don't chase trades. I wait for my setup. And, if things get invalidated like they did here, it is what it is. I don't chase it. So there's always going to be another opportunity. Obviously, we continued to push higher, took out literally every draw that I marked out in pre-market during my pre-market call with my Discord, and we are back at all-time highs. So literally played out exactly how I wanted it to, besides the fact that this candle closed a little bit too high. So something as little as that makes me not take the trade. So there's little things. When you get better and better at trading, you just don't force. So, everything has to align for me to take a trade. So that's pretty much it on price action today. We did have a retrace back down here. There just was not any gaps that got inversed. We really didn't create any fair value gaps through here until up here, which that's obviously too high in the leg. So yeah, it is what it is. Not much to say. Obviously, the long-term portfolio continues to print as the market is back at all-time highs and we keep ripping higher and higher. But no day trades today. If you guys took any trades, let me know in the comments, and I will be back on here one more trading day this week. Let's lock in. Let's have an amazing Friday, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.